Hello, I'm Kristen from Kristen Cain Style. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I am a style and mindset coach. I take women from stuck and overwhelmed and frustrated with their wardrobes to a place where they actually can't wait to get dressed. They have confidence when building outfits. They are smarter shoppers. They're not wasting money on pieces that they don't ever wear. They know what to edit out because they understand fundamentally how they want to show up in the world and how to build a wardrobe that supports that. And so if you would like to talk about working one-on-one, I do work one-on-one with clients. Style therapy is how I do that. There is a link down below. We can set up a free consult call to see if we're a good fit. You can explain to me your style struggles and I can let you know whether or not I can help. My guess is I can. Been doing this a long time. I'd love to work with you. Okay, today, this is big for me. This is a big topic and one that is really important to me. And so I've had some people ask about style and mindset and why and how I became a style and mindset coach and what mindset has to do with style. And I have answered these questions kind of one off here and there, but I have never, I don't think, really addressed it here. And so today I want to talk about, how I became a style and mindset coach and why I think the mindset piece is so important. Because I was in style and fashion and retail for many, many, many years before I had any understanding of my own mindset and before I introduced it to my clients and started using it as part of my business. So just to give you a little background, I worked retail, apparel retail, for most of my career, from the Limited in high school all the way through Neiman Marcus and most recently Anthropologie. And I was in fitting rooms a lot, and then kind of overlapped with starting my own business. I was in closets a lot. And on the fitting room side, at the retail side, women would come in, the same women would come in pretty much weekly, sometimes more often than that. I would see them more than once a week, and they would buy kind of random pieces that didn't really have any place in their closet, or they didn't have a plan for. They didn't actually know if they were going to work with the things they already owned. They didn't have a cohesive sense of their style, and they didn't have a wardrobe that was really fabulous and functional. So they would just keep coming in and buying pieces. And over the years in retail, in the fitting room, I would hear these sort of fitting room confessions, these kind of thoughts and ideas that were going through women's heads, and they were largely the same over and over again. I'm too old to wear that. I can't wear stripes because my bust is too big. I can't afford that. My legs aren't long enough to wear that shaped jean. Whatever it is, I would hear the same basic phrases over and over again. I can't wear sleeveless because I don't like my arms. I can't wear anything that has too low of a neckline because I have freckles or sunspots. There was a lot of negative self-talk about what couldn't happen with regards to something they might want to wear or try with regards to their wardrobe. And then in addition to the retail side of it, once I started my own business and started working in closets with women, we would, eagerly get started in the closet, and we would edit out all the pieces that weren't serving her, that either didn't fit or weren't in great condition or just didn't fit the current vibe that she was going for. So we would edit out the pieces that weren't serving her, and we would create outfits with the pieces that remained, and we would create a wish list so that the gaps could be filled in as she would shop. I would take pictures either on the woman or on the rack, or flat lay out on the floor. I would take pictures so that she would have a lookbook of all the looks that we created so that getting dressed would be easy. And we would part ways with a hug and a smile, and she would be so excited and so eager to get dressed in these new looks. And she felt confident and amazing. And, the first week I would get texts of her in these new outfits, and she would share her enthusiasm and, how the people reacted in her family or at work. And then inevitably I would run into a client in Target or the grocery store or at school, my kid's school. And then one of two things would happen. She would tell me, oh, this is just a one-off. I've been wearing all my outfits and I'm loving them. I was working in the garden, that's why I have this on, and then I had to run out for some reason. Or she would tell me that, I know, I feel terrible. I just put this on today and I'm gonna get back to wearing the outfits that we made because I really do love them, but something, whatever the reason was. It's been too hot, or I've been too tired, or I was sick, or, whatever the case is. And so the more this was happening, the more I realized I wasn't actually completing the cycle of fixing the wardrobe struggles that my clients were having. We hit the ground running and we made tons of changes, and I knew there was the potential for real transformation, but it just wasn't happening. I would see these women, different clients repeatedly in kind of the same old, and I would think, wait, we did the work. What happened? What fell short? So I got curious as to why. I started to wonder, why is this happening? And at the same time, kind of parallelly, I was working on some things I wanted to change in my own life, not specifically style related, but just in my own life. There were some things that I was addressing and researching and learning more about so that I could improve myself, personal development kind of stuff. And it was then that I started to realize, oh, this must have something to do with the thoughts and the beliefs and the feelings that my clients are having around their style. Because in my own life, I was seeing that the things that I wasn't changing or wasn't fixing or wasn't resolving usually came back to some limiting belief that I held, some way that whatever the thing was made me feel. So when I really started to consider kind of the whole transformation that I wanted clients to have, I realized that I was leaving out this enormous chunk. I was leaving out the mindset work. I was leaving out how they were thinking and feeling and believing with regards to their style and their wardrobes and their clothing and shopping and all of it. So I started to do the work to learn how to coach on mindset, to understand what are the questions I need to ask? What do I need to convey and help my client understand in order to get her to realize that it's not about the clothes. It is, and I had said that for years, but I wasn't really honing in on what it was about if it wasn't about the clothes. And what it's about is the feeling and the thoughts and the beliefs. It's about how you want to feel when you get dressed, because once you pay attention to that, you'll no longer tolerate clothing that doesn't feel amazing. If you want to feel amazing when you get dressed, and I'm just inserting amazing as sort of the kind of company line, you can choose any different adjectives, any different descriptors. But once you decide how you want to feel when you get dressed and you commit to that, you make that decision, you'll no longer tolerate the things that don't make you feel that way. So you won't show up at Target or the grocery store in the kind of frumpy, less than ideal, lazy go-to outfit that we tried to edit out, or that we maybe did edit out and you pulled back out of the bag because you just couldn't make the shift. Once you pay more attention, or even a little attention, to what's happening in your mind and the feelings that are going with those thoughts and beliefs, changes everything. So that's how style and mindset kind of merged to become part of what I do, all of what I do with regards to helping women create wardrobes that they absolutely love wearing. So if you've done any mindset work, then this is going to be redundant. And yet at the same time, I think if you've done any mindset work, you might need to hear it one more time, because certainly in my own life, that's how it goes. I hear things and I learn them, and I am a perfectionist in that way, that I like the research and I like gaining the information. And yet it takes me a while to embody it. I intellectually understand it, but I might not actually have metabolized it so that I'm doing it. So for that reason, I will mention that our thoughts create our beliefs. So belief is just a thought we keep thinking. We create our beliefs based on a thought we choose to think, and then we think it over and over and over again, and pretty soon that becomes what we believe. Doesn't matter what it is, it's just a thought we've chosen to think over and over again until it becomes a belief. And our feelings are super connected to those thoughts. So whether we think a thought and it makes us feel a certain way, or whether we feel a certain way and it creates a thought, they work together. The thought that we think triggers a feeling. And so the limiting beliefs around wardrobes trigger feelings that make you then reach for the lazy go-tos, because you don't feel worthy of the outfit that maybe you and I created together and we took a beautiful picture of and we hung on a hanger and it looks amazing. And yet when it's time to get dressed, there's some thought that happens, some thought that you think that makes you feel, today's not really a day that's special enough for that outfit, so I'm going to put on this. And once you can start to pay even a tiny bit of attention to this, once there's a little bit of awareness, you can start to change it. And then you can start to say, thank you very much, brain and thought and feeling, but I want to feel amazing today. that outfit isn't going to do it. The one that I've edited out and I'm not actually feeling great in, I want to wear the new outfit that we made, that we took a picture of, that I lit up when I put on. And I'm going to rewrite and override the thoughts and the beliefs that I may have. So, the limiting belief idea is really anything we're thinking that is making us resist or hold back from doing the better thing or choosing the better piece or wearing the better outfit. So it can be, I can't afford it. I don't have enough money. I'm not tall enough. I'm too busty. I'm too old. My hips are too wide. My legs are too short. Oh, my feet are too big. My neck isn't long enough. My, cleavage is lumpy. I have heard it all. I have literally heard it all. My arms are flabby. My hands are too bony to wear rings. Certainly I could say that. It really doesn't matter what it is. It's just a thought that you keep thinking that you've then decided is the thing. And it could be something that you didn't choose to think on your own, but someone said. Someone might have said, oh, your hands are so veiny and bony. I don't know that I'd call attention to those with a ring. Or just your hands are bony and veiny and you decided, oh, then I don't want to call attention to them with a big fabulous ring, just as an example. It could be someone a long, long time ago who told you, you can't wear horizontal stripes because your bust is too big. That isn't fundamentally true. There are ways you can wear horizontal stripes even with a really big bust. Nothing wrong with that. There are ways to work around that and still embrace the stripe if that's what you want to do, and embrace the bust. Nothing wrong with that. But we get these ideas in our head that become these limiting beliefs, limiting because they're holding us back. They're keeping us from having a wardrobe we love wearing. We're pulling the lazy go-tos repeatedly because we don't believe that we can wear the better options. So when I do style therapy, I ask you some questions. There is a questionnaire that gets the juices flowing with regards to how you want to feel and how you want to look and what might be holding you back. And I'm often told, oh, I don't have any limiting beliefs. And repeatedly, when I get the questionnaire back, woman after woman after woman will say, I don't have any limiting beliefs about my style. And then about 30 minutes in, when we start to talk about what's keeping her from having a wardrobe she loves, I learn what the limiting beliefs are. And in some cases, she really doesn't see them prior to our chatting about it. And in some cases, she really doesn't understand that they are limiting beliefs. Usually she chuckles along with me, and we kind of have a good laugh about it when she realizes, wow, I keep saying how short I am and that I have to make my choices for what to wear because I'm so petite. And yet I'm not realizing that that's holding me back. In some ways, I'm excluding whole categories of clothing because I've decided that I'm just not tall enough to wear them, when that isn't actually true. There are ways to make the proportion work for any body type. It's just a matter of believing that it's possible and, starting to experiment with it. So your limiting beliefs might be around your body. They might be around your wardrobe. They might be around the time you have to spend on getting dressed and looking amazing. It doesn't really matter. They can be all of those things. It doesn't really matter what the limiting beliefs are. It's starting to pay attention to what are you telling yourself. I have clients who tell me they think it's hopeless. They can't really ever have a wardrobe that they love wearing. And then thankfully, by the end of style therapy, they have changed that thought and they really believe that, wow, I was creating this big obstacle to getting dressed that I didn't think it was in any way possible for me to have a wardrobe that I truly loved. And we've just fixed that in like one afternoon. This is amazing. It's just really interesting how I have clients who believe that by caring about what you wear, it means that you are superficial or that you're fake or that you are, conceited or stuck up. That's a limiting belief. Somewhere, whether it was your mom or your grandmother or a teacher or a coworker, someone planted that idea in your head and you just kept repeating it until it now is a belief that you hold. There are plenty of really stylish women who are also really smart. There are plenty of really stylish women who are really open-hearted and service-based and are in no way conceited or stuck up. So it's just interesting now that I include the mindset work in my work as a style coach. It's really interesting to me how vitally important that is. It is not about the clothes. It is about how you want to look and feel in your clothing. And then it is about what you believe and what you think and what you feel around the clothing, kind of surrounding that. And once you start to get curious about that, you can't unsee it. You can't undo it. If you go in your closet and you look at what's in there that you're not wearing and you think about, what do I think about that piece? Or what feelings do I have when I look at that piece? likely you will start to uncover some limiting beliefs. Oh, I can't wear that because it's striped, and oh, I can't wear stripes because I'm too short or I'm too busty. Oh, that piece, I really look terrible in orange because someone a long time ago said you really look terrible in orange. But it isn't necessarily true. It's just that now your brain thinks it's true. So when you see something orange, you decide you can't wear it. And so pay attention to what is happening. Try to begin to see that thought error that's occurring. What are you thinking and believing about what's hanging in your closet or what's preventing you from having the style that you want? Because chances are it's not true. Chances are it's not actually what's holding you back. I have so many women who tell me that they can't afford to have the style that they want. I promise you, with thrifting and resale, it is 100% possible to have whatever style you want. It can be exclusively Eileen Fisher. I have now purchased several Eileen Fisher pieces that would have been $200 plus each piece, and 5 or 6 pieces that I brought into my wardrobe in the last few months combined were under $30. So it is not a matter of the belief that you hold being true. It's a matter of recognizing that the belief that you hold might not be true and starting to get curious about it. Starting to really look at, why do I feel like this when I wear whatever the color is, whatever the shape is? What thoughts am I thinking? Where did this start? Who made me believe this? And how can I let it go? Because it is freeing to realize that just because you're not super tall doesn't mean you can't wear something, a silhouette or a shape or a color that you've always wanted to wear. It just means you have to know what the proportion is, what the right way to do it is. It doesn't mean you have to just arbitrarily take it off the board completely. It just means you need to know how to make it work for you. So the limiting beliefs are really important, and they are really, where we start with style therapy, because until you understand why you keep struggling with your style, it's not the clothes. It is definitely not the clothing, and it's not the budget, and it's not your body. It is what's happening in your mind with regards to what you see when you open the closet or what you see when you look in the mirror. And once we start to get into that, it's really pretty easy to start to shift those thoughts so that you can get dressed and rock whatever you want to rock and look amazing. So I do both coaching and teaching. I want to be clear that when I work with clients, it is a mix of teaching the expertise that I do have around style. I've worked a lot of retail. I've worked in a lot of closets and a lot of fitting rooms, and I studied this in school. This is something that I do have knowledge about, certainly with regards to colors and wardrobes and styles and silhouettes and shopping and how to edit and how to put together an outfit and build a simple wardrobe. I know those things, and so I teach those things. It's not that I want you just to pay attention to your mindset but not fundamentally learn how to become your own stylist, because that is what I teach. And in addition, I now, over the last couple of years, have begun to include coaching, so that it is equally important, the coaching element of the style work that I do with women. Because if you don't understand what's happening in your brain that is connected to what's happening in your wardrobe and when you go to get dressed, you can't fix it. And then we end up seeing each other in Target or the grocery store, and you have on the same frumpy, less than ideal outfits that you were already wearing before we worked together, and I haven't completely done my job. So the mindset work is now 100% part of what I do when I work with women, because I believe that when you look at that and you look at the actual clothing piece and you put those two together, it's unstoppable. You can't help but elevate and up-level your style, and as a ripple effect, pretty much everything else in your life, which is really kind of cool. So that's all I've got for you today. I hope that was helpful so that you can start to pay attention to what thoughts are you thinking, what beliefs do you hold around your style, what feelings do you have about the things that are in your closet or the things that you wear, or how you just feel about your clothing, what that frustration level or that overwhelm level is, so that you can start to pay attention to that, because as I've said now several times, it's not about the clothes. It really isn't. It's about how you feel with regards to the clothing. So if you would like to be part of the Q&A I do every Tuesday at noon Mountain Time over on Instagram, at Kristen Cain Style is my Instagram. If you're not following me over there already, I'd love it if you would. I am delving into reels a little bit, so you'll see those and get a good laugh. And I do a style Q&A every Tuesday. And so if you have questions, I put up a box on Monday. You can drop them in. They get saved every week. So there are about 7 months of them. And you can go in and look at all the questions that I've answered and drop your question in also if you'd like me to answer one. It's a lot of fun. And I'll be back here next Friday with a new video. As always, if there's anything you would like me to cover, something you're specifically wondering, just drop it in the comments and I'll add it to my roster of upcoming videos and I will be happy to create it for you. Okay, that's it. Style therapy. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, style therapy is how we do that. And it is actually a really fun, basically one day, very transformative program that takes you from overwhelmed and stuck with your style to a place where you can love getting dressed and you can let the lazy go-tos go and wear the really great stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.